We are very grateful for your participation of each of you for this webinar and connection on faith and science from a Islamic perspective. And we are happy to welcome our brother Kasib from the Muslim community to give in this conversation, to open this conversation on faith and science. So, Kasib, would you like to introduce yourself? And the time is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Basu. How are you? Assalamu alaikum, everybody. It means peace be with you, all of you. And my name is Kashif Naser. I live in Sun Valley, Arizona. And by profession, I am actually a laboratory analyst and laboratory technician. So I work with soil, water testing, environmental stuff, and been doing for 15 years and more. And right now, I work for a biotech company where we do some bio stuff like products, omega 3, and different things for the pharmaceutical company. So that's pretty much. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in microbiology, biochemistry, zoology, and mostly science background I'm coming from. And by faith, I'm a Muslim and born and raised in Indo-Pakistan subcontinent area. So India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, we call them. It was, and then all the my family from there, and so I immigrated to US in 1995. Since then, I'm living here, and then I'm married. I have a wife, and so this is just a little introduction about myself. And I thought about I've been observing and participating in some of the Arizona Interfaith Network Zoom calls and Zoom meetings, and I was kind of impressed about they are doing different things about environment and stuff. And so I thought I can contact Vasu and Bandhu, and they rearranged for me, and I'm really glad for all of you guys, and thank you, appreciate it for giving me a time. So today I wanted to divide the session into. First, I wanted to describe briefly introduction about Eid al-Adha. This is one of the major Islamic holiday in every year. So we actually celebrate two holidays in a year: Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Fitr, we fasted for 30 days in Ramadan, and then after that we celebrate for a day for celebration for fasting and basically thankful to God and worshiping and trying to be a good and develop spirituality and cleanliness of the heart and being come to the community as well and helping others. Eid al-Adha is actually is the remembrance of the sacrifice of Prophet Abraham. So Prophet Abraham was a very famous prophet in our religion, and we call them he's the father of the prophets. And all the lineage from the prophet Abraham came to Ishmael and Isaac and also Jesus, the Maryam, and his father Zechariah, as well as Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and everything. So that's actually that's one day Prophet Abraham saw the dream that he was told that by God that he has to sacrifice of his beloved one of the beloved thing he has. So Prophet Abraham said, my son, because he was very old when he got the son, and he has two wives. One is Sarah and one is Hagar. So after that, according to the Islamic perspective, it was his son Ishmael, and according to the Jewish and Christian perspective, it was Isaac. So regardless of which was son it is, he was ordered to sacrifice his son. So Prophet Abraham told his son, and his son says, "Yes, okay. If it's the God's will, I will do it." And so there's no question asked. So Prophet Abraham take him to the hillside in the mountain, and then he about to slaughter his son with a knife. But as soon as he's ready to do this task, the angel came and stopped him, and he said, "There is a sheep for you here, and you pass the task of the God and the test from the God." So God was testing him how strong his faith is, and he can sacrifice the thing that he loves the most in the world for God. And then from that tradition, we followed this, and also there's a connection between his second wife Hagar, wandering in the desert of we call them Safa and Marwa. She was traveling back and forth, and there's the water came through, gushed through from the feet of the son of her son was Isaac, according to our Islamic perspective. And then now these days, until this day in Mecca, there's a water called Abu Zamzam, is still forth gushing and non-stop, and in the desert. From that perspective, it's a combination of different rituals combined together, and we call them Eid al-Adha. And today, that the Muslim world, all around the world, celebrate that festival, and that's actually Eid al-Adha. We go to pray, then we buy the animals and sacrifice and divide the meat into like three different parts. So one part we keep it. Second one is to family and friends, and the third one is to poor and the needy people and the orphans. And so that's a tradition. Basically, visit each family, come together, being together, and be happy and just be a part of the day. And so that's Eid al Adha basically. So I think if you have any question, otherwise I can start the different topic. Maybe I just continue.
I have one question for you. How do you celebrate in your home country this holiday with your family, and if it's different to the celebration here in the United States?
Yeah, actually, is all around the world is pretty similar. So my some of my family here in US, in Canada, and most of the family in India and Pakistan or Bangladesh. So basically, they go to pray in the morning and there's early prayers, and then after they come and buy and they go to the market and buy the sheep, goat, lamb, camel, anything they can, whatever they can afford, and then they take the animals to the slaughter place and they butcher and then sacrifice, saying the name of God and everything, and remembering the day of when Abraham trying to slaughter his son in the name of God. And so it's kind of that little, it's a little special moment that we celebrating, that how he was connected to God, Abraham. We call them Abraham was a friend of God. So he was also saved in one of the fire that he was created for him to burn him down, but he nothing the fire did not touch him and he just walked away. It was the time of Nimrod, and also so this kind of little speck of glimpse of history and the tradition and the faith that bring together when you're slaughtering the animal and you're remembering the prophet Abraham's sacrifice. And then after that, basically what we do is just to take the meat and distribute to the community, to the friends and family, and just feast and festival and cooking and eating. And we like the spicy food, so a lot of spices and curries and goats and different things with rice and bread and basically, and then people wear new clothes and visiting the graveside where people are dead and pray for them. They go visit an orphanage, they go visit like a poor neighborhood and distribute meat, and then after that they get together with family and share and have good time with the family and everything. That's pretty.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think the second topic I wanted to discuss is about the faith and science. Basically, faith and science according to Islamic, from the Islamic perspective. So that's basically is like actually I'm sitting over here. There's no fan here, so it's a little sweating. So, but actually, faith and science. So I want to describe the faith and science first, and then I will describe faith and science from the Islamic perspective. So, according to our beliefs, the faith is something that we believe that we worship one creator. So, this is our faith. Very simple. The creator, according to Islamic perspective, and our belief is the God. So, the name of God in Arabic is called Allah, and then in Jewish and Aramaic languages, Ilahi, Elohim, and Christian in English we call him God. And so God has a different names in different religious and faith groups all around the basically the world. But according to our belief, we call Ilahi Allah. You mean the worship one, the only one creator, and we believe in unseen God. So He's the one who is the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, God of Adam and Eve, and God of Muhammad and God of Jesus. And so He's the creator. So that's the faith that we have, and all our life is around that faith. So, like, we have 5 pillars of Islam. We pray, we give charity, we fast, we give needy help and poor, and be good to as much as good you can. We are not perfect, so we also have good and bad deeds. And science, according to our understanding, science is something that needs a proof, that needs something we can sense it with our five senses: touch, hearing, and seeing, and observation. So the we have like a predictions, and then theory, and after that we develop experiments and prove something, with observation and experiments, and then with all the different things that become the science. So that's the fact, something that everybody can see and feel and touch and observe based on facts and experiments. So, faith and science, according to our belief and Islamic perspective, is something very unique because we believe in Quran. Quran is one of the book that we believe is came from God. But Quran is just not the book just came by itself, because it is a 23 years of process when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was selected as a prophet at the age of 40, and then he passed away at the age of 63. So it's after 40, at the 40 age of 40, he was visited by angel Gabriel, and he was in the cave of Hira in Mecca. And then when angel came and he hugged him, and then he came in the form of human, and then also he said, read and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he cannot read and write. He was illiterate man in Arabia, in Makkah and Medina, from the tribe of Quraysh. So at that time, the poetry was very famous in that time. The lot of Arabs in that region in Mecca and Medina, 1400 years ago, there was a lot of poetic, because they don't have a written history, and they can only communicate and dialogues and poetry and this kind of thing and songs. And so angel came, and then after Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said he cannot read and write. So after that, angel, he asked him to recite the first verses of the Quran. He said, "Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq." He mean, read by the name of God who have created you from the clay. And then after that he started reading, and then after that briefly, in short, what happened is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, started receiving the revelation. So angel the revelation came through this way: when angel Gabriel goes to the creator Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and is in this, after the cross seven, we believe we have seven heavens. So after seven heavens is the kursi or arsh of Allah. It means where Allah, the Creator, resides physically. And so it's a millions and millions of miles distance, even trillions. Nobody knows how far. But so the angel has the ability to go through the space and time with the speed of light, or even more faster. So he bringing the revelation to Prophet Muhammad. So Prophet Muhammad is staying in Makkah and Medina, and then so 23 years of revelation came. And when angel came, he recite the verses of the Quran. He go first to the Creator, to Allah, and Allah Jalla Jalaluhu tell him something, and then he remember, and he came back to earth, and he recite back the same thing to Prophet Muhammad. And Prophet Muhammad become giving this miracle that he will memorize it. So after a few years later, so he has all his in memory, and then later on it becomes a Quran. So after 23 years, the Quran has completed, but it has in a different, like a different revelation, different commands, different things, different teachings, and there's a combination of a lot of different things. And it also includes the science and the faith, because Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, the Creator, have mentioned many scientific facts. So, for example, in the Quran, we have very dominant scientific facts, for example, about embryology, the human development, and also the astronomy, how the suns and the moons and the universe has created, the rotation and the revolution of the earth and the suns and the planets and the stars and the galaxies. And then we have the science of meteorology, which is described about the formation of the earth and the mountains, and has pegs and the roots underground. And it also mentioned about the honeybee and the spiders and insects, for example, and that how the life of the spider, how, and then everything. And then there's a lot of other miscellaneous sciences that has been mentioned. The water, the life comes from the water, and everything made in pairs, and describe about animals. And so these are about the different scientific facts. One of the miracle of the Quran is that the Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, the Creator, only mentioned in one sentence something briefly, because it will be so much over exhausting and overwhelming if he described everything in detail. So he just mentioned, have you not thought about water, how the life comes from the water? So it gives the room for the human beings to go and explore water, to see how the life comes from the water, how it evolves and how it's spread. And this is just an example. So same thing with astronomy. So that's why in the Quran everything is mentioned in a speck of time, is a little sentence, a little something for us to understand, to go explore and discover, and be a part of the scientific community as well as the religious faith. So, but according to our Islamic perspective, we believe that Islam, science, and faith are very much connected, because we believe everything was created by the Creator, the only Creator, God, and all the things we see them around us, it has a purpose. So all the animals, all the plants, all the human beings, and we also know that the God has created many other creation in the universe. So He created, according to our belief. Actually, I want to mention first is that when there was nothing, there is only God. So he's decided to write a pen, and then after he created the pen, and the pen writes everything from the beginning to the end. But we don't understand this is a similar kind of pen or just different. It's just divine. And then after that, he created all the creation. So, but before he created all the creation, the first creation, he created angels made of light. And then he created so according to our belief, we believe that angels has no gender. They are not male, they are not female. They are just the angels made of light, the creation. And then the second creation is a jinn. Jinn is the genie, we call them, is made of smokeless fire. They are also existed with us in this world and beyond. But they have the capacity, so they can change forms, and they are good and bad jinns, and different things. So they have male and female, and they produce, and they have like a normal life. But we have no access. They are in different dimensions. And then the third creation is Adam and Eve. And then we know this Adam and Eve. Adam was created in the heaven, and the Eve also. So these are our father and mother, Adam and Eve. We believe, according to Islamic perspective. And then we came down to earth because Adam and Eve, they committed a sin and eat the food, and then as a punishment, but God sent him, and God forgave him and forgave the Adam and Eve, both of them. And so they live here more than 1,000 years, and uh, we are the offsprings of Adam and Eve, sons and daughters of Adam and Eve, according to Islamic perspective. And then God also created the animals, the insects, the plants, the different types of creation. They have a Neanderthal, they have Cro-Magnon, there are different types of apes and gorillas. They look like similar features of the humans, but Adam, we human beings are solely the creation of God through Adam and Eve. So we don't have any link or evolutionary link between all the other creation, but everything else was created in pairs, so male and female, so they can produce and they can multiply and they can flourish on earth. And also, so that's basically, we believe that the creator is the one who has created everything, and it has been coded into every cell of every creature to produce the DNA. For example, it has all the information coded for that particular species, either it's an insect or a human or animal or a plant. So they can keep producing until they wiped out due to the some kind of process of environmental degradation or a evolutionary disaster or something else. But and something else is evolved. But so this is a piece of information, and that God has created all the creation, and we believe that all the creation of God worship the creator. So the mountains, the oceans, the wind, animals and plants, they have their own way of worshiping one creator. But we don't know. A lot of research has been going on around the world that has been doing research on the Quran or different verses and different things. So basically, according to Islamic perspective, we connect faith and science together. So they are not separate, but they are all intertwined and interconnected to each other. So, so if there is no creator, there is no creation. So the creator has created all these things for us, and so we can ponder and we can think and we can explore, so we can know our creator. And we believe that our in our senses is beyond our imagination to think about creator. So one of the 10 commandments of Moses, that do not thou fall images of God. So we don't make the or create the image of God, but we just worship the divine, the creator that exists, and we can see through our internal eyes or internal heart, but we cannot physically make the shape of the creator or God. Uh, so that's actually uh, my little presentation about faith and science according to Islamic perspective. And it can go beyond and beyond and more hours and hours. But I will continue if people like and wanted to combine and make a series like a series 1, 2, like different and focus on each topic, say for example embryology or something else, and discuss. And I can prepare a lecture. Basically, my knowledge understanding, I grew up as a Muslim, and I have go to the college university and learn about Islam. And when I come to America, I also involved with a lot of interfaith meetings throughout different states I live. And then I was participated in Christian and Jewish and Muslims and different Buddhist and Hindus and atheists and different other. And then they were like grouped together in different places and have meetings and potlucks, and when we discuss different topics each time, and it is very peaceful, and not like these days everybody trying to hate each other because of different faiths, but we are just like uh, is one creator, just different ways to reach him. And so we believe that that's a part of human evolution, trying to understand each other. And sometimes we have conflict, sometimes we are agreed, but that's a healthy thing to be in difference of opinions, I guess.
Thank you so
So yeah,
much, Kashif. We appreciate that you shared this with us. And we also want to invite you, each of you, Toby, Mike, Karen, Sadvir, Melanie, and Shirley, to think about what is the connections that is in your own religion and your faith and the science. If there is any connections of your faith with science. And I have a question for you, Kashif. Why
yes.
is important for you to open this conversation on faith and science with people from different religions? Today, in this meeting, we are people from Jew community, Christianity, um, and many other traditions, including the Sikh tradition. So I was wondering, how do you feel about that? How has been your experience, and why is important for you to open this conversation with all diversity of religions?
Oh, okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, thank you. It's a very good question. Yeah, thank you. Actually, for me, I've been involved in this kind of interfaith meetings with a lot of different faiths and beliefs, and even the Christian, different types of Christians, like Mormons and Jehovah Witness and Catholics and Baptists and different other, and Jewish, the Reformed Jewish, and the Orthodox Jewish, and then also like the Buddhist and Hindus and other faiths groups. And so I found this, we are all interconnected actually, because I found this feeling that according to our beliefs, like we are the sons and daughters of Adam and Eve, and from this we have been connected. We are all human beings, and although we have different faiths and different perspective, different way of thinking, and but we all worship something higher power. So in all the traditions from the Greenland, Iceland, all the way to the Australia and the New Zealand and all the jungles of Africa, all the South America and North America, and all the Native American tribes and all the different then all the different ancient civilizations, the Persians, the Romans, the Greeks, and the Buddhists and the Hindus and then also the Muslim civilizations. And throughout the aspects of the history, what I have read, uh, people always worshiping something higher, and they know that there's a God, and that make us all close together. Although we have a lot of differences in faith, we believe differently. Everybody, even in Muslim tradition, they have Sunni and Shia, and they have so many different sects of Islam. They believe in different, like although I don't believe in sects, but I'm just Muslim. It's not optional. It's optional to have a sects of belief. If people wants to choose, they are free to choose. But So I think it is a good thing to combine together and communicate your views with others and listen other views and then come to a some kind of harmony, like live together in peace or share with each other with the learning and knowledge. So this way we can all reach to our creator. We can all know the power of the creator and all his creations and what are the benefits we can get. Like for example, the environment. If we are more aware of the environment around us, and we know how beautiful is the environment, is the pristine water, the soil, the air, and so we will not pollute our airs, we will not pollute our water. We will be more careful. So basically all the science, I think, is all connected to faith, because if we know the creator is created all these things for us to benefit in this world, we can all be aware of this thing. So it's creating the awareness and harmony, and to understand the purpose of life, to understand being involved with each other and to learn from each other and to make a world a better place. So that's, I think, the idea behind it, actually.
Thank you so much, Kashif. Yes, and you
Yeah,
mentioned interconnection and interdependence. These two concepts are very important for my own tradition in Buddhism. We always talk
yeah.
about, and personally, I also echo what you mentioned.
Yes, actually, when I grew up in India, Pakistan area, uh, there's a lot of Buddhist community in the north of Nepal and Tibet, and then and also a lot of Hindus in the central part of India and the south, and there's also a Muslims tradition and Sikh and Parsis, and there are a lot of different other religions other than Christian, Jews, and Muslims, and so that's what I learned, because these people are very kind to each other. And is there a lot of political uprising or bad politics made these people to fight each other and be enemies to each other? But in general, I see people are living in peace to each other, they're neighbors to each other, and then help each other in the community. And so that's I'm thinking, and they're thriving actually. They don't mention in the news a lot, but in documentaries you can find through the National Geographic Society. They made a lot of documentaries, and so I believe that I see that interconnection and interaction with each other, making their community a thriving community.
Thank you so much. Is that where you
Oh,
have your hand?
I guess I can see it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Kasif,
Yeah.
Brother Kasif. I think you speak very fast and you put a lot of information in a small amount of time. And so, but
Okay, I
there's
will try my
something,
best.
No, that is not a complaint. It's just, it's an acknowledgement. And I just
Okay.
want to, some of the things that came out towards
Yes.
me when I think about faith and science. um, well, then let me preface it with, in Sikhi, there is no conflict between faith and science,
Right.
as there is in some parts of some religions.
Yes.
But I did notice, I heard that the concept that humans have no genetic connection, no evolutionary connection to any kind of primates ever. Well, science contradicts that. So, okay, so there's that. But you did talk about that there is evolution. So, how
Yes.
do you, as a Muslim yourself, how do
Yes.
you, and having a belief in science, how do you mitigate what could be a contradiction?
Okay. So the first thing I want to mention, a good question actually. Like the first thing, I speak two languages. So Urdu is my mother tongue, and English I also learn in school and college. So I try to slow down a little bit because these are just a different dialects in Urdu, and people speak very fast, and then also in English it's kind of medium tone. So yeah, from next time I will try to be a little slow and hopefully so your question comes to your question is yes, according to this Islamic perspective and the Muslim faith and monotheism, that we believe that everything is created by one creator, Allah,
Yeah.
or God.
Mhm.
So the evolution and the science is the ongoing process. Is basically evolution is in the Quran. It says that the life comes from the water. So that is the evolution process that we have invertebrates and the microorganism, invertebrates, vertebrates. Then they have dinosaur age. Then they have all the mammals and then fish and then all the different other five kingdoms of the animal vertebrates, and the rest of them are invertebrates. So there are mollusks or different things, and there are so many other things we don't know about the ocean life. Is depth into the ocean, and there's still a lot of things to be undiscovered. But the evolution process is a process created by the creator, according to our belief, and it will go on until the last day. So people, the creature, any kind of creation will evolve and disintegrate and re-evolve something else and disintegrate. That's the process. And the same thing you see in the universe. A lot of stars born and die, and they have meteorites destroyed and travel throughout the space.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of theories and a lot of different things and developed during these years in the scientific community. But when it comes to the human creation, we are not a part of any evolution in this world, because according to our belief, we came from the heavens actually. So Adam and Eve was created in the heaven, and then it was sent down to earth, but through with the help of angel. And when Adam came here, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, the God, taught him all the different names and different knowledge for them to survive on this earth. And we exactly don't know the exact time. It's maybe 20,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago. Just it's a lot of different understanding of different communities. But here we, and then Adam and Eve at that moment, according to Islamic perspective, God has decided to create until the last child will be born on this earth. And then this will be continuing our generation. But that is created, is coming from directly from Adam and Eve, and then their sons and daughters. According to our belief and historical perspective and research about different scholars in Islam, they have seen that when Hawa, the Eve, the wife of the Adam, when she gave birth to one son, one male and one female child, and then she gave birth another male and female child, and then after that they intermarriage to the first and the second generation, and then they continue, and then after a while, when they become a little group of people, they migrated to different parts of the earth, and they inhabited mostly in the central part of the earth, where the Asia, Africa, and then the Middle East countries and India. So, and then from there they spread on to different parts. And that's how the offspring of Adam and Eve spread. And that's our specific generation came from Adam and Eve. We have no link, no evolution in this world. But on other side, we have other species of the humans that similar to looks like human, like Cro-Magnon and Java, Neanderthal, and they have been found the bones and different things and giants and at the time of Noah, and they were the creation that God has created, and then so that's their own generation, their own lineage, and own species and race, and some of them are died out and disappear from Earth, and all we have is their fossils record. But we are coming from the descendant of Adam and Eve. So that's my uh, answer for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And I think, Toby, you have your hand, and then Mike.
Thank you. This may not have anything to do with anything, although I'm just fascinated.
Thank you.
What is the Islamic view of the afterlife? What happens? Is there a reincarnation in? I have to plead ignorance, but I'm fascinated about, because is that really science? I don't know, because you're dead and you don't know. But if you could give me a clue, I would appreciate
Yes,
it.
I can tell you about there. So whatever I have studied and learned and listened from different scholars, and we believe in the afterlife is because we see life is a continuous process. There are different stages of life. We believe so. There was the first is the soul. The God has created Adam, and then He breathed the soul into Adam, and then Adam become alive, and all the organs are formed, and then it's different things. And but though the soul in our body is actually a gift from God, is something is a very special thing. So that's how we are. That's who we are basically. The body disintegrate into the earth, back to the earth. So according to our belief, the death is actually the transformation into a different life. So when person lives whatever life the person has on this earth, but before that, our soul is living in a place called, there's some place on, we don't know where is only God knows. We already have existing soul that is about to come into this world. So that is another life. We don't have the memory of that. And then when the person married and have a child, so the child is started to grow in the fetus of the mother, and that is another life stage. So at fourth month of the life of that person, the soul, the angel came and he put the soul into the body, and then that person becomes either male or female, and then it becomes and the mother gives the birth, and that's another life in the womb of the mother. So in that the child eats and feeds and everything through the different process of this and everything. So that's another life. The third stage of life is the one when we are living on this earth. So we have a childhood, we're a teenager, adult life, and then we grow old, and then it's about people die at the age of old in normal condition. So that's the third stage of life. The fourth stage of life after we die is the people take the body and bury it into the grave, and that's is the door opening from the grave to the next life. We call this barzakh. Barzakh is another life where the body will disintegrate or whatever the fate of that body. So according to our deeds, good or bad, God will decide. It will give a rewards or punishment in the grave. But the soul actually left the body, and then soul goes to the place called Barzakh and stay with the soul, with other soul, where they have ancestors, their father, mother, grandfather, very long lineage of people, the people they know in this world. They will all meet each other and they live together, and that's a different life. So and then there's a fourth, this is a third, fourth, and the fifth stage of life is the final stage of life will come. We believe that when the day of judgment will arrive, when everything will be destroyed, and that's the end of the universe. It's not only will happen according to our belief, the only on earth, but is all the universe, because we believe that God has creation all over the universe. We are the only one, like some of the example like UFO, for example, or but that's a Hollywood thing. But they have a different life forms and different creation, all different planets, different galaxies. But we cannot reach them because it's millions and millions of miles away. And so all the universe will be destroyed, and including the jinns and the humans, the angels, and everything. Only God will survive, only everything, because He's the Creator. And then here, that is the call we call the Day of Judgment and the final days on Earth, on the universe. And then everybody who died already from the beginning of the time will be evolved again. And so we believe that the people who buried in the grave, or how they died in the ocean, they died in different things. So they will come back to the life again. So they will given a different body. And that body is not from this earth. There will be a different type of body we will have. And we have the soul, the same soul. So that is the permanent life we believe, that there will be no more death. And then people will go to, according to their deeds, they will go, only God will judge who He will give it to, the heaven, paradise, or the punish, and send them for punishment into the hellfire. And all the satans and all the devils and the evils, they all definitely go to the hellfire. And so according to our belief, we are not supposed to judge anybody. Like we say, we are Muslims, or we should not say, oh, the Jewish person are bad people, or the Christians are bad, or this is bad, or the Hindus are bad. And they also criticize, because only God knows the heart, the condition of the heart. So, and then He only knows who is doing the good deeds or who is not. So is only God will decide who goes to heaven or who will be forgiven and everything. And then the life continues in the paradise and everything. And that's, like we call them, eternal life. There will be no more death. And so we will have a different type of life. And it has a whole, actually, a lot of details. But that's basically the general is, like, we believe that that is the we are going through a process of this kind of evolution, basically. So is that different stages of life. To the fifth stage of life is the final stage of life, where everybody is living in peace after all.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You explained it very well. I know it's a very complex subject.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there's a lot of details. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Mike. And then
Yes, thank
maybe
you. First of
Darcy.
all, I really want to thank you, Kashif, for doing this. I've learned, I'm learning by being part of Arizona Faith Network and also Arizona Interfaith Movement to see the commonalities, like you said. So really appreciate you bringing that up. Plus, I'm kind of a scientific guy myself, and I appreciate your comments. I just had a question. I'm curious about the evolution of creation. So the Creator created the angels, and then there was they were not men or women, you know. And then there was another stage before Adam and Eve of some type of entities that were created. Could you say a little bit more about that?
Oh, I said about jinns. The jinns, we call them a genie. Or have you seen the movie Aladdin? And his the genie, he scrubbed the little thing, and the smoke come out and become like a human kind of creature. So these are like a jinns. We call them. Jinn is made of smokeless fire. We believe, and isn't mentioned in the Quran also. Uh, they also have a male and a female like a humans, and they multiply. They have marriage and death, and but they live a very long life, hundreds of years. And so they are actually living in different dimensions according to our belief, and not to be interaction with the humans, unless some people they try to connect with them, but the one who are trying to connect with them are the evil ones. So they also are good at that. And so they are made of smokeless fire. The fire, when you put the flame, there's a blue color on the side of the fire, and in the middle is a yellow. So the other outer layer of the fire is a blue smokeless fire. Is some kind of similar kind of chemistry they were made of. And so they can change forms. They can come in the form of human. They come in the form of animals, or some are good, some are evil, and a lot of them are good actually. Some of them are evil. So they possess people, or they possess different unabandoned places, and they live with the human being and the humans. but in the deserted places like empty desert, forest, ocean, and some are flying, some are like, but they have a lot of powers and they are very strong. And so that's called, we call them jinns. Uh, and they are like human beings, like they eat, they produce, they have families, they have, but they don't live with the humans. They try to live in separate life. That's
That's fascinating. I just wanted to close just with one statement. I had a chance to talk to a Muslim gentleman at length, and as one of our interfaith things, at the end of it, we shook hands, and he said, "You know, we all believe in the same God, but we sure like to argue about our prophets, don't we?" And I thought, isn't that the case? Thank you.
Yeah, that's actually, I agree with you. Yes, yeah, we believe in the same God, and we have all different ways of reaching to God. It's just we should not conflict, or we should not like criticize on each other, but rather the way we like worship God, the way our heart feels, the way we should. And then when somebody wants to come to the point where they want to embrace some other faiths, they should be welcome to. So this is something like not be forced, but willingly to come. Yeah.
No. Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Kashif. Then we have Melanie, and then Halsey Taylor.
Thank you.
So my question is kind of a question about a comparison to Christianity. In Christianity, we have a real divide among different denominations and different areas of Christianity that is based in science. And so there are some Christians and some denominations who have a problem with evolution because they find it very threatening to their interpretation of the Bible, to their literal reading of the Bible, and they find it threatening to their faith because of that. And then other areas of Christianity that don't take things as literally and are okay with allowing science to inform how we understand the stories that we read in the Bible. So I'm wondering, is there the same kind of divide in Islam, between the sects of Islam or between different branches that is based in their reading of science?
Right. Oh, no, sir. Thank you, Melanie, for the question. Yeah, it's actually a very interesting question. Yes, actually, I did some research on this a little bit, just study and on this particular topic. But according to our faith, the Islam and the monotheistic belief or worship one creator, we have this thing on this line of category, or we are pretty much common. We have no like conflicts on evolution and the science, because we believe that there's only one creator who has created everything. Evolution is a science that it is an ongoing process for different species of plants, animals, or different things existed on Earth to be evolved based on our environment changes and the different variations on Earth, the mountain region, the desert, the ocean, the life, and also warming of climate. And for example, in the current trends, or the millions of years ago, the Earth was very hot, and then also they have ice age, and then they also have different phenomena on Earth. So the animals and everything evolve just to adopt themselves to survive. Basically, that's the idea of the evolution, for any species to adopt certain environments so they can survive and flourish and thrive. And some of the species did not survive, some will survive, or they change into different things. But when it comes to the human beings, we are very special on Earth, because we are not from this Earth, actually, according to our belief. And we came from Adam and Eve, and Adam was created in the heaven, and Eve was created in the heaven from the ribs of Adam. And then they sent down to Earth, and then this is a new place for them. So they learn everything on this Earth, and they survive. And we are the offspring of Adam and Eve. So we are actually not a part of evolution, we believe, according to Islamic perspective, but we learned from different other species that existed with us, and to see how they evolved and how they process. So Darwin, when he went to the island, and then he studied all different species of different things, and And then he come up with the theory of evolution and different things. And so as a part of a science is evolving the science to understand much better every day. But we do not treat as a conflict, but we treat as something evolution as a learning process to for the evolution of science actually. But when it comes to the faith, we have a strong faith that the creator is the one who allows these creation to evolve in different times of the on earth. So as you see different era, we have Paleozoic era and Cenozoic era and Jurassic era. So they have different species of big giant reptiles. They evolved before and they died out. And then they evolved something else. And they are carnivores and then the herbivores and then omnivores. And so some of these species are still living amongst us, like tortoises or lizards. And so that's kind of remind us that there was some other creation existed before us or before other creation, and that's a continuous process for evolution.
So there aren't scientific debates that divide Muslims.
No,
aren't
the Muslim on this
for us,
regard, there's no division on the yeah, they
for
have divided on
evolution, and it's stewardship versus
no.
domination of the earth that was created and so on. We have a lot of places where we feel like we can argue about what science brings.
No, I think there's no division on this respect regarding the evolution and faith and science, but they have other issues they want to divide: how you pray or how you fast or just different social aspects of life. They divided themselves, and then so they don't follow this, they don't follow that. So that's basically how you practice Islam. Is based division occur of Sunni Muslim, Shia Muslim, or but the faith wise they are very similar, and then a lot of different things here.
Thank you. It's helpful to understand.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Kashif. We have Halsey Taylor.
Thank you, Vasu. So, Mr. Naser, thank you very much for being here and sharing with us. I would like to know your opinion on the science that says that all matter and energy is frequency. So then, is the creator not that as well? A frequency, a very powerful frequency. And in that light, if in fact Islam sees the creator as omnipotent.
Yes. Yeah, actually, it's a good question. We saw the frequency that has different matter. Every matter and energy are connected. So, like say, for example, the matter consists of electron, protons, and neutrons, and there are some other particles. And each one has a frequency because their energy and they're revolving into their orbits. So energy and matter, when they combine together, it creates a frequency. That frequency travels through the media, whichever is
Right,
media.
so is the creator not frequency?
Because according to our belief, we do not make any kind of assumption or image about the creator, because this is we believe that it is beyond our imagination. God described himself, because people was asking a lot of question when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in Mecca and receiving the revelation, how the God looks like and everything, and how the God he has hands, or he has this, or he's energy, or he's something else. And so actually there's an incident happened in Islam we call it Miraj. Miraj is the travel in space. It happens to the miracle to Prophet Muhammad when he was about 40 years of age. I don't remember the exact time, but
right.
At that time angel Gabriel came and he asked that God is invited you to come to the we call the place called Arsh, where God actually lives physically.
How do you spell
And
that?
yeah, the Arsh, yeah, you probably know. So this crossing the seven heavens layer, the seven heavens, and then after that is Arsh. So
Is that AUSCH?
Arsh, yeah, ARSH, Arsh in English, we call, but it's an Arabic
Thank you.
word.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are. So when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was brought a horse and it has a wings called buraq. and this horse traveled at the speed of light, and the angel was accompanying him, Gabriel. And so they went to the different levels of the skies first. Then they have angels guarding the sky, and they have doors
Yeah.
actually. And then so he passed first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And then after, when they reached at seven, and Prophet Muhammad, he saw different miracles, different things during his journey. And but Angel Gabriel, he says, I cannot go beyond this point because there's what God reside himself, is the creator. So Prophet Muhammad, he stepped down and he walked through, and there was a light everywhere. And
Yeah.
the light was so bright, and then actually, and that was a god, and we believe. And then he has a veil, so the god has a veil, and he hide his face and everything. And then God talked to him behind his veil, and then
Yes.
they have a conversation. So and then after, he came back to the earth the same way he went to the horse and everything. And then God told him, he is a sacred ground, so you come over here. And he talks to Prophet Muhammad and everything, and just different conversation. I think it's a long discussion, but anyway, so he came back to earth, and people, and it was a speck of time, was so like milliseconds or something, like the speed of light, somebody travel and come back. And so a lot of people don't believe it because think he's just making it up, but a lot of people believe it. But, so people ask me, did you see God? I say yes. The Prophet Muhammad says, yes, I did not see God. I saw the veil, or that he's covering his face, and he talks. And so I asked him just, so they say, why you did not see the God? Because you're a prophet. So I said, no, because God told him that if the God take his veil out, he's so vibrant that the whole universe
Yeah,
will
it would
collapse and
destroy
just.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's so beautiful and extraordinary. So that's why he hide himself from his creation, especially humans. So we don't see God, but we can feel and worship him. And so
Right.
that's the little respect of the God.
But
And
Mr. Nasser, as you explain it, it sounds
yeah,
very much like Judaism, which believes that God is nameless, God is formless, that it's indescribable to the limitations of the human mind, which I personally agree with. However, what disturbs me is that in this, in the description you've given, and in the description of many, many other wisdom traditions, that that God has qualities that we've given. In other words, that God is made in our image instead of we being made in God's image. It seems that we have made God and attributed human-like qualities, which to me is arrogant.
yeah, actually, it's a point I can describe according to my understanding and knowledge that I've learned is God has actually 99 names. We call them, out of 99 names, all the 99 names are the qualities of God. So you say God is merciful, kind, and provider, and different things. And God also has a personal name we call Allah, and in Jewish, Elohim or Ilahi in Aramaic, and
Hashem, yes, yes.
there's different names, but that's his personal name, and also his quality names are Rahman and Rahim and merciful and kind
But those are all
and
human qualities, are they not, Mr. Nasser?
yeah, that's actually true. But the God has given all this quality to us because He created Adam and Eve from the dust, and then He put the soul, breathed the soul into Adam to become alive. So we will have some qualities that God has given to us to live in this world and to prosper and to be actually is a like to be a human being, but also have the qualities that God has created for himself. And he also, when he put the soul into the human body, we believe that a lot of qualities of God also we have it. We are also kind, we are friendly, and we can also get anger, and we can also get upset, and we can also loving, and we take care of families. So good, like God is take care of his creation. So like there's so many similarities that God, because we believe that God loves us, and he created Adam and Eve to be the like the caliph or khalifa, what we call them like in English is like take care of the earth. So until the assigned time, because
The steward, yes, stewardship.
so that's how we have possessed a lot of good qualities, and some like God get angry also when there's a lot of sins and a lot of things happening, and He sends some warnings and punishments like different things happens in the earth. So so people learn lessons and they will get back to each other and be living in peace. But
Yes, I'm trying to reconcile. I am personally trying to reconcile why an omnipotent God would not interfere and correct the suffering that has been going on time immemorial.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, I think God give us a willpower, so we decided if we do good or bad in this earth, and then we have consequences of
Yeah,
what we
but
do. And
omnipotence trumps free will, my dear.
yes, that's true. I think God give us a chance. Actually, He give us chance to stop what we are doing wrong. So
Well, we
after
haven't stopped.
we haven't
For
stopped doing
darn
it.
sure.
You see, like there's so many things going on. Then after the time has been passed, and when punishment arrive, they say when God start giving the punishment, then there's a non-stop punishment. Then the lot of things will perish away and gone. So, but God tries not to, according to our belief, give the people time and things so they can think, they can overthink. Indeed, a lot of uh, things going on around the world, and people are so much cruel to each other and
Oh,
fighting
yes,
and killing.
yes, yes.
But it's just a matter of time when God decided He does not want to see these things anymore, then the punishment will come. But He gives the chance to the human. Doesn't matter which part of the world or what type of beliefs and faiths, so they can come back together. They give the signs and give time, and so they can be stop doing whatever they are doing wrong. And if they don't do it, I think eventually things happens bad actually. So
Well,
yeah,
no,
so that's
like you
it.
said, every species has had its time, to everything there is a time and a season. And the human species, I'm embarrassed to be human most of the time.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Well, actually, yeah, there are good and bad people in this world, but I think we all just have to be true. I think is the faith of monotheism is the one of the most important thing in Islam. That as long as we have seen through the time of Adam and time of Noah, time of Abraham, and then time of Jesus and Muhammad, and a lot of different other prophets and Isaac
Right.
and Joseph and
But
yeah,
as you say, there have always been these pockets of light that I call them. There have always been this. And yet it seems that the minority that are I call them anti-human. The majority is being overruled by the minority of these negative influences. It's like, and I keep thinking, oh God, would you put us out of our misery?
yeah, that is true. Yeah, hopefully it will correct it itself at the time of when I described earlier is the evolution of the human mind also. But when we talk about the evolution of different species on Earth, our mind is also evolving at the time. So people will come, new discoveries will come, new inventions, new theories, new people, new mind, and so 10 years from now, 20 years, 100 years from now will be a different world.
Yes,
And
indeed.
so it's also the process we are going through.
For better or worse. Thank you, Mr. Nasser, and thank you, Basu.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Halsey Taylor. Thank you, Kasif. And we appreciate the time of all of you to join us today. And we have scheduled 1 hour, but if many people is available to continue, we can continue this conversation because we have Sadvir next. But please feel free to join us next time if you need to do something else.
Yes,
Thank you so
actually,
much for
thank you for thank you for all everyone, and I really appreciate it. And then I'm happy to continue, and I can pick topics and discuss on that. And I like to give a brief topics and mostly cover with question and answers where people would like to learn more and like a hands-on and knowledge on things. So I really appreciate it for Vasu and everybody else who joined me today. Thank you.
Thank you,
Can you
Kashif. Thank you. We
can you
appreciate
stay
it.
a
We
few
have
minutes?
Sadhbir next.
Can
Yes,
you stay a
Sadhbir.
few
Yes,
minutes longer, please, brother?
yes, yes, I
Okay,
will.
good. So there's two things I want to speak a little bit to Helsey's. Hi, my friend. We used to sing together. Um, um,
Yes, indeed. My blessings to you.
thank you.
Thank you.
There,
Okay.
I attended another webinar on a young Quaker group in Bolivia,
Oh, yes. Okay.
and these are young. These are like teenagers and young adults, and they started with absolutely nothing except that they saw that water was the crisis came when one of the main cities in Bolivia did not
Uh-huh.
have water. That's when the government first started to believe there really was a crisis. But
Right,
the
right.
the the people in the outlying areas who relied on the land to grow their own food knew this long before that. These are young people. They had nothing, and they managed to gather support throughout the world to bring the knowledge so they could build these special water filters so they could filter what water
Mhm.
existed so that it was clean, and to bring seed potatoes, because that's the main crop, so that they could continue to live. So
Right,
don't
right.
give up hope, Halsey. The young people are not giving up hope, so we ought not to either. And
Oh,
Right,
bless
right.
your hearts.
the second
That is
thing I
true.
wanted you I wanted to mention is I was so encouraged when I attended another webinar about al-Misan, a
Yes.
covenant for the earth. And maybe you can talk about that a little bit to the people
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yes. Thank you, Sabir, and thank you,
Thank
Kasif.
you.
Yes, Almisan is something that we have working together with the United Nations Environment Program and the Muslim community that basically is a statement and covenant to declare the importance of the environment, of taking care of the environment within the
Yes.
Islam tradition. So we have from, for example, from Christianity, from the Catholic Church, we have the declaration of the Pope, Pope Francis, Laudato Si,
Right.
and from Islam, now we have this declaration that is called Al-Misan. So, Kashif,
Thank you,
we
sir.
are happy to having you today to continue this, to see how
Right.
is the engagement of Islam with the environment, because this
Yeah,
relationship
that'll
of
be good.
faith and science.
I will be interested to participate if there's something I can do. That'll be great.
Yes, thank you, Kashif. And what you mentioned, Sadhbir, is beautiful that we have learned from Bolivia in the youth in Bolivia.
That was actually a good thing they were doing because that's how it started everything in a very small scale, and then people get support and they can better their life. And there's throughout, I've known many people in Haiti, and then some other person I know that she have done a lot of work through United Nations and to bring the natural vegetation and growing crops for the people who are very poor, and now they are doing self-sufficient and then some other places as well. Yeah, that's great.
Thank you, Kashif. I wonder if there is any more comments, Kashif, or Mike, or Halsey Taylor of Sadbir, if there is any more comments or questions.
Thank you. No, this has been wonderful, though. This is just, I think these conversations are more and more and more important, Vasu.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Henry.
Yes, and thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you having this time in Saturday. Thank you so much for joining in Saturday in your weekend. Thank you so much,
No, thank
everyone.
you.
We appreciate to be
Thank you,
together
thank you,
today,
thank
And
and we
you.
hope to
Vasu,
continue.
thank you for your Monday noontime meditations. Thank you for that too.
Yes, thank you so
Oh,
much.
yeah,
We are looking forward to see you on Monday for the meditation. We always
Yes.
welcome all diverse religions to this meditation. If you have any meditation from your own religion, you are always welcome to offer that for the Monday meditation. Thank you so much
that would
again.
be great.
And if
All
there
right.
is
I
Be
no
will
well,
try.
more,
everyone. Be well.
you
Have a
and have a nice
wonderful weekend. Thank you. Goodbye, Sabir. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
goodbye,
much.
everybody. And have a nice, wonderful day.
Goodbye.
Thank you.